I watched the Season 4 finale trailer 4 times back to back, and I still can't fully process what I just saw. My hands are legitimately shaking right now, and that is not something I say about every trailer drop. This one is different. This one feels like the show finally cashing in every single chip it's been stacking since Season 1. And there is one specific shot buried in this trailer, maybe 2 seconds long, easy to miss if you blink at the wrong moment, that I think just confirmed one of the oldest and most terrifying theories in this entire fandom. We are talking daylight monsters. We are talking an eclipse. We are talking a sacrifice so heartbreaking that I genuinely don't know if this fan base is emotionally prepared for it. And we are talking about a tree. One single tree that might not have been keeping these people trapped at all. It might have been the only thing keeping something far worse locked away underground. So if you thought you knew how this season was going to end, buckle in, because the Season 4 Episode 10 finale trailer just rewrote the entire playbook, and we are going to break down every single frame of it right now. Before we even touch the footage, we need to talk about the title, because whoever named this episode deserves credit for the most quietly menacing episode title in the history of this show. The Season 4 finale is called If a Tree Falls in the Forest. Read that again, If a Tree Falls in the Forest. That is not subtle. That is the writers looking directly at the audience and telling you exactly what the episode is about, right there in the title, while also somehow making it sound like the most ominous thing you've ever heard. Because the plan right now, the big desperate swing that the whole back half of the season has been building toward, is to rip out that massive tree so Jade and Tabitha can get through and access the caves. That's the blueprint. That's what Boyd is betting everyone's survival on. But the boy in white has been trying to wave them off this entire time, waving them off with increasing desperation every single time he appears, like someone watching a car drive toward a cliff while the driver refuses to look up from the map. The official synopsis for this episode uses one specific phrase that you need to pay attention to. Nothing will ever be the same again. Not the stakes are high. Not everything is on the line. Nothing will ever be the same again. That's a show telling you directly that whatever happens in this finale is permanent. There is no reset. There is no undo button. Either they get out or the cycle ends by burying every single one of them. Now let's get into the trailer itself, because the first thing that hits you is the vibe. The whole thing feels like controlled chaos about to stop being controlled. Rapid cuts, people crying, people screaming, Boyd standing somewhere looking completely lost for the first time in 4 seasons. But the one detail that reached through my screen and grabbed me by the throat comes almost immediately. We see Fatima, Ellis, Randall, and Boyd stepping out of the clinic together. All 4 of them looking up at the sky at the same time with that specific look on their faces. The one that means whatever is up there should not be up there. And what's up there is dark, heady clouds rolling in fast, with red lightning cracking across the sky in a way that does not look natural, does not look normal, and immediately gives off that specific kind of wrongness this show has always been so good at capturing. If you've been in the From community for any length of time, you already know where I'm going with this. The Eclipse theory. It's been floating around since early in the series, discussed in theory threads, brought up every time the show hinted at anything related to light and darkness and what the monsters can and can't survive. It's one of those fan theories that felt almost too big to actually be true. The kind of idea that sounds incredible, but gets quietly shelved because you assume the show isn't going to go there. The show went there. Those dark clouds aren't weather. That red lightning isn't a storm. What we are watching in this trailer is something tied directly to pulling that tree. A cascading effect that plunges the entire town into shadow. Real shadow. Dark enough that the monsters don't have to wait for nightfall anymore. They can come out right now, in the middle of the day. And there is a shot in this trailer that confirms it. Smiley, walking into the clinic, in what looks unmistakably like daytime hours. That iconic horrible grin, visible in the middle of what should be the safest time of the entire 24-hour cycle, casually stepping through the clinic door, like he owns the place. And here's where it gets even more chilling, because this isn't actually new information, not entirely. Some of you might remember Marielle's dream back in Season 2. During her withdrawal arc, she had a vision where she woke up, went to check the morgue, and then saw Smiley standing at the clinic door during the day. At the time, the show framed it as a nightmare, a hallucination, a symptom of what she was going through. The fandom flagged it and filed it away. But From has always been very specific and very intentional about what gets shown in this story. And dreams in this universe are almost never just dreams. Mariel didn't have a nightmare in Season 2, she had a preview. And we are about to watch that preview play out in real time during the finale. Except this time it's not a dream, and there is nowhere to wake up to. Now let's go inside the caves, because Jade and Tabitha's situation in this trailer might be the most emotionally devastating thread in the entire preview. We see Jade holding a bag stuffed with those enormous bones, and genuinely, how are all of those fitting in one bag? That's a separate conversation. And then we cut to the moment that I think is going to break a lot of people watching this episode. Jade crouched down, looking directly at Tabitha, telling her that she has to break the cycle, that she has to finish the ritual to save the children. The way the scene is framed, the way Jade is positioned, the look on his face, this does not read like a strategy conversation, and I've been thinking about it since the trailer dropped, and I cannot shake the feeling that Jade is going to stay behind. Think about the structure of what's happening. The plan pulls the tree, something goes catastrophically wrong. Either there's no passage at all, and they're completely stranded underground, or the rope they toss down snaps, and suddenly Jade and Tabitha are cut off with monsters converging on their position and no way out above them. In that situation, someone has to hold the line, someone has to buy time, and everything about how Jade's arc has been constructed this season points toward him being the one who doesn't make it out of those caves. If that happens, I think I know where Tabitha surfaces. Remember back in episode 7, when Randall was trying to open a door but said it was jammed, blocked from the inside? That was not a throwaway moment. The tunnels branch, they have multiple exits, and one of them leads directly to Colony House, which already has a talisman inside, which means if Tabitha comes out to that jammed door, she walks straight into one of the only protected spaces left in this town. Speaking of protection, or the complete collapse of it, there's a flash in the trailer that I keep going back to. The monsters casually, almost boredly, peeling back a tarp and walking into the chamber where the children's bones were buried. And the fact that they can do that raises a question so uncomfortable that the whole fandom needs to sit with it for a minute. Did the talismans ever actually work? There are two possible answers and neither of them is good. Either the talismans were a performance the entire time, the monsters faking repulsion, faking fear, giving the residents just enough false hope to keep them going. And this whole time the protection was a lie designed to be ripped away at the worst possible moment. Or pulling that tree genuinely shattered something, broke some fundamental rule of how this place operates, and wiped out every talisman simultaneously, leaving the town completely naked. Either way, the result is the same. No protection, no fallback. Monsters with open access to every building in town, including the clinic, including Colony House, including every space that these people have spent 4 seasons trying to turn into something safe. And this is where Boyd's plan, the thing he has been so certain about, the thing he was ready to go all in on, starts to look less like a strategy and more like the move the enemy wanted them to make all along. Which brings me to the theory I find most genuinely disturbing about this entire finale. What if the tree was never keeping them trapped? What if the tree was actually a seal? What if its entire purpose this whole time wasn't to imprison the residents, but to contain something far worse than the man in yellow? Something that has been sitting underneath this town this entire time, held back by the hope and the energy woven into those branches. The show told us the tree was formed through the children's hope. That's not just poetic language. That's a specific origin story for a specific object. Objects with that kind of origin in storytelling don't just trap people, they protect against things. And as pulling that tree is what triggers the darkening sky, the red lightning, the earthquake that we see later in the trailer. Victor locked in a cell while the walls shake around him, Ethan screaming at Julie that they're not getting out alive. Then what if all of that is not a side effect of the escape plan failing? What if it's a side effect of the real entity finally getting loose? Because here's the Season 5 implication that nobody is talking about yet. If the tree was the seal and they just ripped it out, then the man in yellow might not even be the final boss of this story. He might be a middle management villain. The thing underneath, the thing the tree was actually holding back, that might be what Season 5 is about. These characters surviving without talismans, without totems, without the tree, possibly scattered into the forest, hunting something that has never been hunted before in the history of this town. And through all of this chaos, there is still the question of Fatima. Because Fatima walking out of that clinic with Boyd and Ellis and Randall in this trailer is not a casual stroll. Boyd is going back into the caves, and I believe with everything I have that he is bringing Fatima specifically because she is the only wild card left. After drinking the blood of the man in yellow last episode, her transformation seems to be reaching some kind of peak. The connection to Smiley, the ability to see through the creature's eyes, to interfere with what it's doing, that is not a subplot. That was set up, and the payoff is in this finale. Fatima is going to use whatever she has become to stop Smiley, to hold it back, to distract it, to burn through the last of whatever human life she has left in order to buy Jade, Tabitha, and Randall the time they need to get out. And I don't think she comes back from that. I don't see any version of this episode where Fatima survives to season 5. Every single narrative beat this season, the impossible vitals, the black marks, the Smiley connection, Ellis saying he doesn't want to live without her, all of it has been building toward a sacrifice. The town didn't just take her life, it drafted her for a purpose, and the purpose ends in the finale. Then there's Sophia, because we cannot close this out without talking about what she says at the end of this trailer. She's in the diner. She says she's going to light the matches and watch him burn, and the him almost certainly means Elgin. After the confrontation last episode, I thought she might try to use Elgin as an infiltrator, the way the show used Clara. But apparently Sophia does not have that kind of patience. She is going to set him on fire. During the daytime chaos, while the town is already collapsing around everyone, which means by the time anyone realizes what's happening to Elgin, there might not be anyone left who can help him. When I step back and look at everything this trailer is promising, the Eclipse, the daylight monsters, Jade possibly staying behind in the caves, Fatima's sacrifice, Sophia burning someone alive, the earthquake, the talismans failing, and whatever is underneath that tree finally getting loose. I genuinely think we are looking at the most brutal, most consequential hour this show has ever produced. And with episode 10 reportedly running a full hour and a half, the writers have the time to detonate every single one of these storylines properly. There is no soft landing here. The synopsis already told us nothing will ever be the same again. Boyd is out of plans, the town is out of protection, and whatever comes next, season 5 is going to look nothing like anything this show has done before. So here's what I need from you. Who do you actually think survives the finale? Is Jade making it out of those caves, or is that goodbye? And do you think the tree was a trap or a seal? Because that answer changes everything about what season 5 even is. Drop it all in the comments below, because this is the kind of episode that the fandom processes together, and I want to be in that conversation with you the second it's over.